The watering hole, once a sanctuary, is now a chaotic arena of mud and desperation. Akela's aging voice struggles to command order amidst the rising tide of animal unrest. Mowgli watches from afar, his brow furrowed with growing concern. A young deer is violently pushed away from the water's edge by a larger, more imposing beast. The air crackles with tension, a palpable sense of impending conflict. Beneath the moon's spectral light, the wolf pack gathers a symphony of shadows and simmering unease. Akela, his silvered fur gleaming, commands the assembly, his presence a fragile bulwark against the rising tide of distrust. Accusations erupt like thunder, each wolf a storm of blame, as the dwindling water supply fuels their primal rage. Mowgli steps forward, his voice a beacon of reason amidst the chaos. I think we could try a new way to share the water, based on who needs it most. In the desolate expanse of the elephant graveyard, Mowgli, Baloo, and Bagheera tread cautiously, the crunch of parched earth echoing their every step. A desperate struggle unfolds as Hathi's brother thrashes weakly in a muddy pit, his eyes reflecting the torment of thirst and despair. Mowgli, his brow furrowed in intense concentration, surveys the dire scene, his mind racing to find a solution. With a surge of determination, Mowgli points towards sturdy vines, his voice urgent yet calm as he unveils his daring plan to Baloo and Bagheera. In a race against time, their only hope lies in freeing the desperate elephant and guiding him to a hidden spring, a lifeline in the face of the water crisis. Bathed in sunlight, Mowgli mimics Baloo's playful strumming as Bagheera watches vigilantly. The tranquility shatters as Ravi bursts into the clearing, his gaze burning with resentment as he shouts, "Mowgli! So, the wild child returns to his playground. After all these years, you dare show your face?" Mowgli responds, confused. I do not understand. Do I know you?" Ravi's anger flares. "Don't play coy with me! You abandoned our village! Your disappearance brought nothing but suffering and hardship!" Baloo interjects. "Hold on there, friend. The kid doesn't know what you are talking about," Bagheera questions. "Who are you and what is your business here?" In the heart of the jungle cave, the torchlight flickers, casting shadows that dance around Mowgli, Baloo, and Bagheera as unspoken tension fills the air. Bagheera's voice cuts through the silence. Ravi's words were harsh, Mowgli, accusing the jungle itself. Baloo, his tone laced with reluctant understanding, counters, "Harsh but maybe true, Bagheera. The kid lost his friend. Grief does funny things to folks." Mowgli's voice, barely a whisper, confesses, I don't remember much. Just flashes." The weight of forgotten memories presses down on Mowgli, his expression a mix of confusion and fear. The torchlight continues its dance, illuminating the cave as the trio grapples with the shadows of the past. At the heart of the jungle, Mowgli stands firm before Ravi, the ancient ruins echoing with unspoken threat. Ravi, surrounded by a chorus of resentment, gestures wildly, inciting the simmering discontent. Mowgli steps forward, his voice ringing with earnest appeal. "The jungle is not to blame for our past misfortunes, Ravi." The jungle trembles as the storm of battle erupts, shaking the ancient stones. The clash echoes through the trees, a desperate struggle for the soul of the jungle. As the dust settles, Mowgli's words finally penetrate Ravi's hardened heart, and realization dawns. Under the cloak of night, the Seoni wolf pack gathers, tension thick in the air. Akela, weathered and weary, stands as the pack leader, his authority challenged by shadows of doubt. Whispers of discontent ripple through the ranks, fueled by Shere Khan's venomous influence. Rana, a young wolf consumed by ambition, dares to question Akela's leadership, sowing seeds of betrayal. Mowgli stands beside Akela, sensing the growing storm of treachery brewing within the pack. Akela's voice cuts through the unease. The jungle is changing, and so are its wolves. In the heart of the jungle, Mowgli confronts Rana, his voice echoing with urgency. Mowgli's impassioned plea cuts through the dense foliage. "Shere Khan is using you, Rana. He doesn't care about the pack, only himself." Rana, torn between loyalty and ambition, begins to flee, his eyes betraying his inner turmoil. The chase ignites, a desperate race through the jungle's labyrinthine paths. Rana leaps over fallen logs, his agility tested by the treacherous terrain. Mowgli pushes through thick vines, determined to reveal the truth before it's too late. Under the moon's gaze, Mowgli, Akela, Rana, and Shere Khan confront each other in the silent clearing. Mowgli reveals the stark evidence of Shere Khan's deceit, casting a shadow of doubt over the pack. Rana's eyes widen as the truth dawns, her gaze fixed on the grim display of Shere Khan's treachery. Shere Khan, cornered, prepares to unleash his fury, his tail a violent whip against the night. Mowgli practices with a wooden spear, his movements fluid, but his gaze drifts towards the jungle's edge. Village children watch, admiration in their eyes, as Mowgli's heart remains tethered to the wild. Amma approaches, her face a map of wisdom and concern, sensing Mowgli's divided loyalties. Amma's voice carries the weight of experience. "Mowgli, you are skilled, but your heart is not fully here. I see you still visit your animal friends." Mowgli defends his bond. They are my friends, and the jungle is still a part of me. In a visibly parched jungle, Mowgli arrives to find Baloo sprawled listlessly, panting under the oppressive heat. Bagheera stands alert, his gaze sweeping over the desolate landscape, sensing an approaching threat. Bagheera warns, "A shadow has fallen over the jungle, little brother. A creature unlike any we've faced before." A distressed cry pierces the air, shattering the heavy silence. Worried, Mowgli, Baloo, and Bagheera exchange glances, then rush towards the sound, fear etched on their faces. They find a deer, its flank brutally raked, a victim of an unseen predator. As Baloo sniffs the air, a growl building in his chest. Driven by desperation, the villagers, led by Amma, hack through the jungle, their faces mirroring their parched hopes. Shere Khan bursts from the shadows, a skeletal specter of fury, his eyes burning with a thirst that transcends the drought. Mowgli steps forward, spear in hand, a lone figure of defiance against the tiger's might. "Leave them alone, Shere Khan!" Shere Khan's voice drips with disappointment and disdain. "So, the man-cub chooses his own kind. A pity. I was hoping you'd come to your senses." Amidst the lush jungle, Mowgli and Baloo engage in a playful dispute over the sweetest path to honey. Their quest takes an unexpected turn as they stumble upon a crumbling stone wall, veiled by thick vines. Curiosity ignited, Mowgli begins to tear away the vines, revealing intricate carvings beneath. Baloo dismisses the discovery, grumbling about wasted time, while Mowgli is captivated by the ancient carvings. Mowgli's voice echoes with wonder. "What is this place, Baloo?" Baloo retorts with indifference, "Just some old rocks. Let's go find that honey." Ignoring Baloo's warnings, Mowgli steps into the forgotten city, where nature reclaims the remnants of a lost civilization. Baloo watches anxiously, his unease growing with each step Mowgli takes into the ancient city. Amidst the crumbling grandeur, Mowgli discovers a dusty book filled with strange symbols, igniting his curiosity. "Mowgli, this place gives me the creeps. Let's go home," Baloo pleads, his voice echoing through the silent ruins. Lost in the pages, Mowgli triggers a hidden trap, the ground collapsing beneath him. He plummets into darkness, the echoes of his fall swallowed by the night. Baloo, hearing the commotion, rushes to the pit's edge, his face a mask of worry. "Mowgli, are you all right?" Baloo calls out, his voice laced with concern. From the shadows below, a pack of feral dogs emerges, their eyes gleaming with menace. In a sun-drenched jungle clearing, Mowgli's youthful energy explodes as he playfully stalks Baloo. Baloo, a mountain of relaxed strength, easily evades Mowgli's playful attacks, his chuckles echoing through the jungle. Bagheera observes from the shadows, his gaze a mixture of amusement and concern as the jungle's symphony surrounds them. Suddenly, Rana bursts into the clearing, her eyes wide with terror as she gasps. "Akela! Doles! They're challenging the pack!" In the heart of the wolf den, shadows dance ominously, illuminated by the flickering torches. Bagheera's voice cuts through the tense air. "We must avoid bloodshed. There are other ways." Akela, weary yet resolute, stands tall, his voice echoing with authority. "The law is clear. A challenge must be met." Mowgli stands beside Akela, determination etched on his face, his presence a silent vow. Akela's past echoes in the den, a tender protector, a patient mentor, a fierce guardian. As dawn breaks through the dense bamboo, Akela faces Kanadi in a brutal test of strength. The coordinated doles overwhelm Akela, their pack tactics leaving him wounded and vulnerable. Horrified by the sight, Mowgli bursts from the shadows, his face etched with rage. Baloo and Bagheera emerge, creating a diversion to draw the doles away from Mowgli. In a climactic showdown, Mowgli confronts Kanadi, his eyes blazing with fierce loyalty and determination. The jungle lies withered under a merciless sun, dust hanging heavy as Mowgli, Baloo, and Bagheera tread through the parched land. A cacophony erupts as a troop of monkeys bickers over the last vestiges of water, their desperation palpable. Baloo attempts to lighten the tension with a jest, but his words fall flat against the monkeys' rising agitation. Bagheera's stern voice cuts through the noise, reminding them of the jungle law. But his wisdom is lost on their parched minds. Mowgli watches, his young brow furrowed with concern as the conflict threatens to boil over. The air crackles with animosity as the monkeys continue their quarrel, oblivious to the wisdom offered by Bagheera and the concern of Mowgli. At the Cold Lair's watering hole, chaos erupts as wolves, deer, and wild boars fight for dwindling water. Shere Khan watches from afar, his eyes gleaming with predatory intent. Baloo attempts to restore order, but his efforts are met with fierce resistance. Bagheera pleads for cooperation, but desperation drowns out his reason. Mowgli spots a young deer, separated and struggling, its fear a palpable echo of the larger conflict. The young deer strains to reach the water, a symbol of innocence amidst the growing turmoil. Under the flickering torchlight, a profound silence descends as Mowgli steps forward, ready to lead. Baloo stands reassuringly by Mowgli's side, while Bagheera observes intently from the shadows, his gaze sharp. Mowgli gestures, his voice ringing with conviction. I believe we can solve this together. By sharing the water based on what each of us truly needs, and taking turns, we can ensure everyone gets a fair share. Skepticism etches the faces of the animal leaders as they exchange worried glances, doubt clouding their judgment. Bagheera steps forward, his voice commanding attention. Mowgli's plan is sound. It requires cooperation, but it offers the best chance for survival. Baloo lightens the mood with a touch of humor. Come on, folks. Let's give the man cub's idea a shot. What's the worst that could happen? We all get a little bit wet?